So welcome, we're live, Emma. We are live.
Hi.
And we powered through our little technical issues. So again, best power. We feel like we're in control. I love this. We're overcoming. Welcome, everyone. I'm Dr. Kate Bartram-Brown, and this is my series of interviews with amazing people that I know. And Emma is amazing. I know Emma through Mini Yoga, but of course she does lots of other amazing things, and she's going to do an intro. And she's been working in the early years sector for many, many, many years. And we know right now that we're going through very transient, difficult times. And I really wanted to get Emma's perspective on children's mental and emotional well-being, things to do in the classroom, things that we can be doing with little ones, and really pick her brains and her expertise. So I can't wait for this chat. Now, Emma, you've probably seen a few of these interviews before. Would you be doing a little intro for us?
Absolutely. So, hi everyone, I'm Emma. I am the local ambassador for Aberdeen up in Scotland here. And I also work part-time in one of the local schools in the nursery. I have 3 boys of my own who keep me very busy. 2 of them are one's a teenager and one's almost a teenager. And the youngest one is 9. And so they keep me busy with all their sport of their golf and football and things like that as well. So, and the kitchen, Emma's kitchen is never closed. Mum's kitchen is never closed. They eat me out of house and home, and they're all nearly bigger than me.
Oh, I love that. It sounds very active. Now, Emma, first of all, how do you're up in Scotland, and the rules are a little bit different for COVID than in England. You went back to school actually 5 weeks ago.
Yeah.
You were saying. So how's that been? Give us a little bit of background on how that's been with the changes and how how you've been implementing different things for children since going back.
Cool. Well, as I say, we've been back for 5 weeks now, so it feels as if we've never been away, to be honest. Having all that time off, you kind of just went back into it quite easily. If I'm perfectly honest, I think quite a lot of us were nervous for a start. I think parents and teachers and things, we were all quite nervous to go back for a start. And with the changes, as you say, some people have to wear masks, or some people choose to wear masks. But within the nursery where I work in, we are a 40-place nursery, and we've had to split the room into half so that we have bubbles on either side now, So it's actually going back to the earlier days when I initially qualified as an early years practitioner, to smaller classes. So that is actually working really well, and it's actually quite nice to work with a cohort of children that you really get to know a bit better as well. So 5 weeks in now, and it's more relaxed. We're more used to it. But you know what? The children have been amazing. Their resilience has shone through this. And I think, as I say, it's the parents and the teachers ourselves that have been maybe possibly more anxious about it than the actual children. But they have been absolutely fabulous, because with us, the parents are not actually allowed into the building now either. So they're having to drop their little nursery toots off in the nursery garden and say, bye, and you think, oh, that must be so difficult, but bless them, they've been amazing, absolutely amazing.
I love that. So I love that how there's a positive in there, that you've got these smaller groups and bubbles,
yes,
which you're now being able to work with. So that's really interesting. So in terms of your home life, you've got obviously 3 very active boys. How do you cope through the lockdown? Because obviously, your area of expertise is education, but also your mental and emotional well-being ambassador for Wellbeing Yoga. So what did you do to get through lockdown with 3 very active boys that probably couldn't go out that much, and then transition them back into school? Could you give us some idea of how that worked?
Yeah, absolutely. Do you know what? Good food is a great thing, because obviously with them being back to school now, they're back to pack lunches, or they're back to being able to go to the shops where they buy an iron brew and a sweet and things like that. So for me, a good diet is really important for the boys. And as I say, they're growing boys, so keeping them well fed and, you know, with proper nutrition is a really important thing for us. And my husband is actually a better cook than me, to be fair, you know. So he does a lot of the cooking, but I do as well. I do the normal stuff like lentil soup and things, and he does the fancy stuff. But yeah, so keeping them well stocked up with food and regular snacks, and got them involved in the kitchen and things as well. So they made us a meal one night, you know. So got them doing different skills that we wouldn't have necessarily always had time to do, you know, at home while they're at school. But once a day, you know, initially in the early days of lockdown, when you weren't allowed to go anywhere at all apart from your doorstep, we all went out for a bike ride together. So we'd get the schoolwork done, we'd get lunch done, and then we all went for a bike ride together. And that just cleared up everybody's head. It was fantastic, you know. And then sometimes, you know, I was using some of my mini yoga techniques actually, you know, when we were just all a bit you know, and I'm not an IT person, so IT was really driving me crazy. And we would just take 5 minutes out and do a colouring in or something, which was just a breathe, you know. So they've been really good actually, to be honest. And then obviously I think they were all just ready to get back to school. You know, they'd spent some summer and they'd managed to see their friends again, and so they were all just quite keen to get back to a routine.
Yeah, I think it's so interesting, isn't it? How this, you know, how you have something taken away from you that you just take for granted is going to happen all the time. That the result is that often you really, really actually miss routine, and you miss going to see friends, and you miss going to see the teachers, even though maths might not be your favourite subject or whatever it is, you still miss it. Yeah. You know. So in terms of transitioning back, you know, you've been back 5 weeks. Have you noticed anything? Have you noticed anything different in the children as such? Have you noticed anything that, you know, other parents could be looking out for? Because we're a little bit behind you in England.
Sure. To be honest, all credit to the parents, because as I say, a lot of our children have come back just amazing, you know, and they've obviously done a lot of the activities that we've posted online for them and things like that. And I think they've maybe been more open now to actually what goes on within schools and nurseries and things like that as well. And they're now, you know, I mean, when you see some of the pictures of what some of these parents had been doing with their children in lockdown and things, it was like a mini nursery or a mini school, you know. And some of them have just, I mean, as I say, all credit to them. They've been amazing, you know. Some of them are maybe just a wee bit more, because they've been so used to being with their parents and stuff, you know, and things like that. So some of them can just be a wee bit more tentative. But on the whole, to be honest, I actually think it's done the kids good, just to slow down that pace of life, and actually for us as parents to actually just be with our own children as well, you know. At times, like I say, you know, you're ready to lock them in the cupboard for a week, you know. So, but at other times, you know, it's been really nice, you know, and I've seen my boys grow before my very eyes as well, you know. So it's actually been a very surreal, but a really also nice experience to just spend that time with them and spend a lot of quality family time together that we've just not had the chance, because it's a rat race sometimes.
I love that, how positive that is, so that, you know, that we've actually, you know, maybe the result of this might be that the parents now feel like they can get involved in the education, get involved in the homeschooling, or simply have some kind of part to play in it. Because like you said, sometimes before, everybody's in their own, you know, kind of zone, and sometimes they don't get time to do that. So that's really interesting. Yeah. What would you say to them parents now you've got children going back? What type of activities could they do to support their little ones going back, and then of course continuing continuing on the good work of the homeschooling that they've already been doing, because we don't want the parents to kind of stop and not do anymore.
Yeah.
Could you
I think very much for me, it's all about, just taking time to listen to them, isn't it? And taking time to be, if you can be there after they come in from school, right, have a snack ready and sit at the table and have a chat about their day, eat dinner together, sit and have a chat, some children come home and tell their parents absolutely nothing, but yet they'll get it all in the bath at bedtime, or just, a bit of delaying tactics so they don't have to go to sleep. They'll then tell you about your day, but it's just taking that extra bit of time to listen to them and just show your interest and be interested in what they're doing, and realize just how amazing our children are, and how suddenly they're now holding a pencil, or they're suddenly now reading, or they're suddenly now, it's just take that time just to watch them and be aware of how they're feeling, and don't be too upset when they do have meltdowns, because we're all allowed them.
Yeah, I love that as well. And we often take that type of thing for granted, don't we? We think that if we're not doing, then we're not achieving. But actually, when you are just listening and and being with your child, that's actually a lot more powerful than often perhaps doing the maths homework or this homework or whatever.
Yeah, absolutely. Realizing what they can do, what they can't do, and where they might struggle, that they need that extra support that you can give them,
Yeah, definitely. Now, so if we have children that, so we've got children going back to school, what type of top tips would you give to a parent or teacher in keeping children relaxed, keeping children motivated, as we transition back into more of the term, because it's always very exciting at the beginning.
Absolutely.
And then you might
you kind of go, oh, is this it?
yeah. Could you give us some top tips, things that you might do maybe with your own children or in school, of how to keep children relaxed and motivated at the same time?
Absolutely. I mean, don't have a plan. You do. Plans are made to be broken, aren't they? So don't set a specific plan that you need to follow, because that never happens sometimes, especially with children, because they can, and going with children's ideas and children's choice, it can take you off into a whole new world of learning. So again, it's about stopping and listening to those children, and being aware when you do plan this super amazing activity and think, oh, that was a disaster, because that does happen. It's okay, you just scrap it and you do something different. But a lot of the techniques, I use within the nursery sometimes as well with the kids, is just taking out and getting them to just stop for a minute and breathe. Put your hands on your heart and listen to your heartbeat, and just getting the children just to slow down a little bit sometimes as well, because sometimes they're in too much of a hurry to get their jobs finished and things. But actually, if you just give them a little bit more time and just allow more time for people to finish and do these activities, and just, your words of encouragement are just, there's nothing better than actually saying, wow, that's amazing, look at that, and they will remember that, and they can relate to that, and their little faces just, wow. My middle son has just won the local golf course junior handicap this weekend, and he is so proud of himself, and he hates getting his photo taken, but he's actually put it on Instagram, and I'm like, oh, it shows you're just super proud of yourself. So just giving them that time, and giving them those words of encouragement. And for parents as well, just giving them that extra hug and that extra bosey at bedtime, and, just making sure you always say bye or have a nice day, because sometimes in our house it can be a bit tense in the mornings, if especially some of the teenagers that don't decide to get out of their bed very early, but it's always make sure before they go out the door, it's like, have a nice day, love you, you know.
I love that because, as you know, I'm a big advocate for positive words. And, we use the Dr. Emoto in Mini Yoga because I know that when we say a nice word, it affects the cells of our bodies. It changes everything. Like you just said, it absolutely, you can see the look on somebody's face when you're kind and compassionate and loving, and we can see the change on people's face when we're not. So we know that it's there, and I just love that. Just keeping it very simple, so we're listening, but then also giving words of encouragement, and that these powerful few words will just set somebody up for the whole day, maybe.
Yeah, I've been doing a wee bit of, I was reading a book just recently as well, and it's not about just saying, wow, that's amazing, but wow, that's amazing, the picture you do. So it's acknowledging the actual situation that they're doing as well, because wow, that's amazing, everybody can say it, but if you actually say, wow, thank you very much for emptying my dishwasher, or wow, look at your Lego model you've built. So it's actually acknowledging what they're actually doing as well, means more to them than actually just going, wow, that's amazing, or whatever, so make sure you acknowledge it is what they're doing as well. And like you say, I'm struggling with the masks just now, because you can't see people's facial expressions the same, and a face tells 1,000 pictures sometimes, and I find that, I think during lockdown we were becoming a nicer, friendlier nation kind of thing, and now you're kind of walking past somebody and thinking, are they smiling at me or not? And you just want to go, hi.
I know. I'm actually doing squinty eyes when I walk past, like doing that, like as if I am smiling. I'm a bit worried about the ramifications of how
lines. Yeah.
my lines, because I keep like this, everyone, I'm doing funny head nods.
Yeah.
Things, because I really want, because I'm the same. I think that's important, when we get eye contact. I love that though, that we can still have that eye contact, that even though we've got the masks on, I know it's not ideal, but at least we can get that eye contact and acknowledge somebody and connect with them. But yeah, I totally hear you. It's funny, it's a thing. I've seen those ones with the clear.
Yes, I've seen those ones as well, haven't you? Yeah. And now the boys at my oldest two are there at academy, they have to wear them to transfer between classes and things like that now as well, because their academy, the corridors are so narrow. So there's, they are over 12, and there's no way they can social distance in the corridors and things. So they're now having to wear their masks in between classes and things. So that's been another change for them as well,
Yeah, it's interesting for the older children, isn't it? And how they've had to take on that responsibility and that awareness of, and as you said, I think they're all doing very well. They seem to be really understanding it.
Yeah, absolutely. To be honest, I was a wee bit worried about my middle son, because he would transition from primary to the academy, and a shame for him. And I'm sure the same with leavers at the other end of school as well. He just missed out on his residential trip. He missed out on so many things, their end of term get-togethers and things like that. And I really felt for him. You kind of just think, oh, gosh, it's just, they've just missed out on so much. But now he started the academy. It's just, as I say, resilience, and it's, hopefully it's a bit of what we've done throughout lockdown to just give him that boost to be able to just go and do it, and he's done really well. So
it's excellent. So Emma, could you tell us, I see you on Facebook quite a lot, obviously, because I'm, part of your group, but I love your videos, and I love that you go outside in the forest and you teach yoga and all sorts. Can you tell us a little bit like that? Are you able to do that anymore? Or can you tell us the benefits, at least, of, going out and doing yoga with the children outside, and what inspired you? Because I just love watching it. It's so amazing.
Well, to be honest, it started in lockdown. I thought, how do I keep in touch with people, and, there was so many horrible stories of poor people, you know, losing their jobs, being made redundant and things like that as well. And I thought, I just need to put out some goodwill gestures just to reach the kids and things like that. And so I started making weekly silly videos of just the yoga techniques that I know and the yoga games that I know and things like that. And it's funny, isn't it? Because you never like to see yourself on camera. So I just record them and post them. So I think, because I think if I started to edit it, it would probably look worse, you know? And I just love, I think because of my experience of working with children since I was 16, I've got a vast array of how we can incorporate yoga into games, to fun. And it's, a lot of it's high energy, which, like you say, in lockdown, the children weren't getting out the same. They weren't allowed to the play park. So it was good fun for them as well, you know. And we did hopscotch, and then we did a quieter one. We've done musical bumps and all sorts. And it's actually been really good fun. The boys have helped me. They've been my sound person or my video person, and they've been really good. And I think it's, you know, people have appreciated my videos, and I've had a lot of comments on it and a lot of photos sent to me of children doing the moves and doing the games and things, which has just been lovely. And then obviously once lockdown eased a wee bit, I says, right, let's try a wee yoga in the woods. Wow. I actually was turning people away. It was that successful. And you know, it's proven, isn't it? Being out in nature, just it calms your soul before you even start, doesn't it? You know, just being out in the open, being out in the fresh air, and we did so many, you know, because of obviously restrictions, I didn't use any equipment apart from a sheet where they used just the natural materials to make their mandalas and do the quiet at the end. And the kids just loved it. It was so much fun. I'm lucky because just along the road from me, there's just a lovely bit of wooded area, and it's so safe. And I just went along, checked it all out, made sure there was no glass or anything lying around, and then I got the parents to sign them in the car park, and then I would take them to the woods and then take them back to the car park for the parents, just to ensure we could social distance and that. But you could actually see them up. There's a wee path past where I was doing it, and a lot of them were walking past just to see what we were doing, you know. But yeah, it was lovely. It was really good fun. So, and it was nice to just get back to doing the yoga with the children, because I'm so missing it. And like I say, due to the restrictions, I'm not allowed to transfer between schools and things just now, which has just been a little bit frustrating, you know?
Yeah, I know, because I remember seeing those videos and I just thought, wow, that is going to be so inspiring for many, you know, the parents sitting at home, many of the families sitting at home. I just loved watching them myself. So I enjoyed them. And then I really loved it when I saw the photos of the forest yoga. And I just thought, wow. And it just goes to show again, yes, in these darkest times, in these times when, you know, people are going through such a hard time, there's always a way to have fun and bring in, you know, mental emotional well-being tools and techniques that are actually fun and easy for everybody to do. And I'm so grateful that you did that for everybody. So I hope that in, you know, at the end of the interview, I'd love to put on your contact details so people can actually see the videos.
Yeah, absolutely.
I shared some of them onto our page, but I know you've got lots more. Now, Emma, will you be able to get back to doing forest yoga when the restrictions ease, or what do you think that might happen again?
Yeah, I did think about it. I mean, I might look at maybe just doing a one-off one in the October holidays again, you know. But I just feel, you know, to be safe for everybody just now, that it's just easier not to. So I've kind of resigned myself to not getting my yoga back until about October. And then obviously we're now getting into the colder weather, and you're relying on the weather, you know, just a little bit more as well, aren't you? So it is tricky, but as I say, it was a really nice experience, and it's something that I will continue to do, you know, hopefully next summer and things as well. So it'll be nice. It'll be lovely. So
And Emma, can we look forward to maybe some more of your videos over the winter period as well, do you think?
Yeah, yes, I was thinking about that recently as well, because I'm not seeing the children in person, and it's just keeping myself out there so that people know that I'm here. I did do one of my schools that I go into. I actually trained the whole school in the foundation training. Just before the summer there, and that was a lovely experience. I was on Zoom all day long, and it's great. And I've just made up a big pack because I can't go in either. So I've just made up a pack of resources and sent them into them. And, the teachers are using it within the school and things like that as well. So that's nice to know that they're continuing to use my techniques and use what what I believe in and what they know is looking after our children, so.
So Emma, you just to finish off, just to touch on that. So if there are parents out there that want to learn some basic techniques of mental emotional well-being, yoga and such like, you are going to be doing workshops online. You can do the workshops online, and if there's any schools that you can do and facilitate the workshops online so the teachers can have all of those tools as well.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. I've become a dab hand at Zoom, so yeah, it's great. So and that I have done a few training online for people, and I also worked with Charlie's House, which is a local charity up here in Scotland, and it's a lovely charity helping children with additional support needs and things like that. So I trained 2 of their family support workers as well, and that was lovely and so nice, and it was just really nice to connect with them as well. So
I love that. So Emma, can we put are you okay if we put your details in the comments box?
Yeah,
so people can get in touch with you? And if you want to get in touch with Emma, you can email her, Facebook message her, if you're connected on Facebook, and she will let you know when her the workshops are going ahead, and you can also perhaps get a link to her Facebook page with all videos and things like that. So as extra resources.
Absolutely. I can just do one-to-ones as well. So I'm happy just, if there's not an actual date for a workshop, just message me, and I'm more than flexible to, I'm not working in the afternoons at the moment, and I can do evenings and weekends as well to just work around everybody's schedules and things. So yeah.
Fantastic. I know there's a lot of people there wanting that information. So thank you so much. And I'm going to put those details in the comment box. And please get in touch with Emma. She's got a huge amount of experience, with early learning, and of course, she's a mom. So she can, right the way through to teenagers. She can advise you, and she can help you and what you need. So please get in touch with her.
Thank you
so much, Emma. It's been lovely chatting, and I hope I get to see some more videos very soon.
Absolutely. Thanks, Kate. It was lovely to see you. Thank you.
Bye, everyone. Bye.